Welcome to Proline Daily, the longest-running sports handicapping show in America. Comes to you direct from beautiful Las Vegas. It's Final Four weekend, plus plenty of NBA still rolling. NHL heading toward the finish line as well. John Cranton's with me. I'm Dave Cokin. And first, let's talk about what Jim's doing. It's now 47-26 in the NBA, including last night's NBA Shocker of the Year, which was Milwaukee, an 8-point dog that won outright against the Celtics.
That's right, and Jim's got a pair of 3-packs going today, Thursday, one in the NBA and one in the NHL. Each 3-pack is $25 online. He was 2-1 last night with each of those, plus a coveted Inner Circle release for $49. Last night's Inner Circle was the Thunder Magic over the total. You can get them all at jimfeist.com. Or if you want to go with a Thursday special, it's 3 full days of action from Jim for $29, including a high roller NBA release going tonight. Just call his offices 866-546-9467.
My Wednesday was spotty, back and forth. I won with St. Peter's. It was my only college play. That was easy. Got my NBA game of the week on the Clippers in NHL. The free play I gave out here on the Calgary Flames was just awful. I mean, the Flames, I have no explanation for it, but I obviously got the game wrong. They were terrible. And baseball, you know, you're going to have this happen in preseason once in a while. I think there's a lot of value in betting exhibition games, but sometimes relievers will do things that you don't like. These are, you know, minor league relievers. And I ended up with a tie, which is, you know, it's not a loss, but it's not a win either. On the Braves-Mets game, it's 2-1 in the ninth inning. They're 1 out away. And the reliever walks Tim Tebow, of all people. Now, they ended up 3 walks and a pass ball, and then ended up as a tie. So that was disappointing. So it wasn't much of a day either way for me, but way more good days than bad days. The last 2 months have been sensational. $350 is going to get you the entire month of April, plus the end of March as well. A couple of days left in this month. And that includes all my baseball plays. And, you know, I'm geared up and ready to go. Had a pretty good preseason, and it's been a very good preseason run, in fact, the last week to 10 days. So if you want to sign on for that, it's real easy. Just call the toll-free number. The number to call is 855-472-2577. But it's a really good deal, and I think you'll be very happy with the results. Again, it's $350 for an entire month. That's well off the regular price. Cavaliers and Bulls tonight, John. Boy, they're a mess. This Cleveland team, I don't want to go against them here because they're coming off a really embarrassing performance. I mean, they've got beat by 29 points. And they've had a lot of those lately. They're now behind Boston in the East. I don't know how important it is to them, but I got to tell you, they're not a go-with team right now. But I don't want them off a loss of that magnitude. And it's not like Chicago's been the model of consistency either. They're only 5 games over 500 at home. They're 4 games under 500 overall. They have done a little bit better lately, and they were very well rested coming into this game. But I don't know. They're the 9th seed in the East right now, and I don't know how much they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a good point. In a sense, it's tough to back either of these teams, or tough to make a case for them. The Cleveland Cavaliers, 2 in a row they've lost, but it's been more than that. Last couple of weeks, 5-8 straight up, 4-8-1 against the spread. So they're not winning, they're not covering games. And what really stands out is they just don't show up on the defensive end. When you look at the entire season now, here's the defending champs. They're number 21 in the NBA in points allowed, number 21 in three-point defense, and number 16 in field goal shooting defense. At times I scratch my head and say, did this team really win it all last year with those kind of numbers? And it's really playing bad of late. And then Chicago, you mentioned inconsistent team. There are some pluses to what you call an inconsistent team. I mean, they're 4 games under a winning record for the year. They're very well rested. You don't often see this late in the season. 3 full days of rest. They are covering some games, so you can make the argument that they are playing hard for this coaching staff, 5-1 spread run, and they're on that bubble. And if there's one other plus with them, their defense really isn't that bad. Number 8th in the league in points allowed, inconsistent team at times. And the head-to-head matchups between these teams, division rivals, has been remarkably one-sided. Chicago has won 4 straight games in 6 of the last 7 against Cleveland. Cavaliers just 7-22 against the Vegas number when these teams meet. And here you have Chicago in the role of home underdog. Well, the underdog is 17-5 against the spread when these teams meet.
All right. Well, It's a no play for me. It doesn't sound like it's a play for you either. Let's go to the NIT. Now, I don't know if Jim has a play on this. We don't consult beforehand. I am not playing the game, but I'll talk a little bit about the matchup itself. Obviously both teams are playing very well. It might not be the NCAA tournament, but they've both gotten hot at the right time as far as the NIT is concerned. Very impressed by TCU the other night. That was a solid performance in winning at home against Central Florida, down 2 at the half, but they were down 10 late in the first half and cut it to 2 by halftime. And you could see that they had started to take control of the game. They had solved the issues of Central Florida's interior height, and TCU really dominated the second half of that game. I was on the wrong side of that one. Georgia Tech did well with this team early in the tournament, picked them a couple of times and won. Haven't gotten involved in their recent games. The matchup here, I think, favors TCU from a size standpoint. Georgia Tech will be going against a big basketball team here. And the one problem with Georgia Tech, they're outstanding defensively, but they have trouble creating offense. And I think they're going to have to knock down some outside shots because they don't see the interior being open for them against the Horned Frogs. And they're just not real good at that aspect of the game. The flip side of it is TCU, look, this is going to sound strange because I was on them, but Central Florida is not all that good. I mean, they come out of a so-so conference, and Georgia Tech is a power conference team, as is TCU. So in case of the power conference teams showing off their strength, their conference strength, perhaps late in this tournament, I just can't come up with a side here. If I had to bet it, well, all I can tell you is this. The sharper dollars in this game are on TCU. The line has gone to 4 and some 4.5, and it is sharp money that is playing the TCU side. So if you want to follow the sharp money, you take TCU. I don't do that myself. I'm only playing my own plays. And, it's nice that they match up with the sharp money, but not the case in this game. So I stayed out of it.
Yeah, well, I won't take a shot on the side, but I will have a play on the total here. This game is at Madison Square Garden. The money's coming in on TCU, as you mentioned, because Jamie Dixon, he's got a history of playing pretty well here in tournament games, 27-15 all-time at Madison Square Garden with teams as he used to coach Pitt. They are playing terrific defense, but keep in mind when TCU plays a team with a winning record, they're only 6-12 against the spread, so I'm going to have to look at the total. You mentioned how great the defense is, particularly for Georgia Tech, but TCU to 22-10 under the total in non-conference games. Really like what Josh Pastner has done here with the Yellow Jackets, particularly on the defensive end. He's utilized Ben Lammers as a shot blocker and rebounder, focal point of a great defensive team. They are 14-3 against the spread against winning teams. However, when they face really good winning teams, that is with a winning percentage above 60%, you see nothing but defensive games with the Georgia Tech 20-8 under the total. So I'm going to go a little bit against the money with respect to the total here. Total's up to 134, so I will look at an all-out defensive war. This one going under the total, Dave.
We have a free play every day here on Proline Daily. Now, I want to preface this by saying that this is not a personal service play today. It was yesterday. I always want to make it clear whether it is or not. So this is be an added opinion, if you will. I don't have any personal service plays today. I haven't finished my baseball yet, so I can't say that I won't have anything, although it's a shorter baseball schedule, and a lot of teams are breaking camp today, so good chance I won't get involved in that at all. But the one game that I would lean to the most would be San Jose at Edmonton in the NHL. San Jose snapped their slump in the last game, got a goal with about 2 minutes left in the third period to tie the Rangers, won it in overtime, and they scored 5 goals in the game, which was really important because their offense had been completely stagnant lately. Edmonton is coming off the game that clinched them their first playoff bid in 10 years. So, it's a bit of a flat spot. The problem is that it's still a big game for Edmonton as far as the divisional race is concerned. And, guessing at letdowns is just that. It's guessing. I don't really like to back that with money unless I've got some firm foundation behind that. I think San Jose's got a good chance in this game. I think there's a little bit of value with them at, roughly plus 115 or thereabouts. So if you're looking for a little action tonight, I would suggest San Jose. But again, it's not a strong opinion at all. Now, we do have free plays every day on a recorded message, and that's on a toll-free number. It's 888-294-1970.
Yep, and Jim Feist has that special going today. First of all, you got a pair of 3-packs in the NBA and the NHL. He's $25 at jimfeist.com, plus that Inner Circle release. Jim's Inner Circle last night, Thunder Magic over the total. And here's the Thursday special. 3 days of action with Jim Feist, including a $500 high roller release going tonight. Just call 866-546-9467. And that free play you gave out, Dave, the Sharks are 25-10 against that team, including 14-5 at Edmonton.
No, that's not surprising because Edmonton was a really bad team for a long time, but
that's true, yeah.
Anymore. That's why history has to be tempered with today's news. I'm not a big historical guy. Anyway, let's see what happens. And meanwhile, we'll say thanks for joining us. We'll do it again on Friday with another edition of Proline Daily.